Hey, what's going on? This is Jim with RealWorldPDR.com. Today I'm going to give you a lesson on some beginner glue pulling. And I should probably mention that if you sign up to become a member at RealWorldPDR.com, a lot of the tools that you see today, you're going to get for free. So let's not talk about it, let's get to it. Let's start with a quick rundown of tools you'll need. So you don't need a whole lot of tools to start glue pulling, but you do need a few, so let's take a look at them now. First things first, you're going to need some glue tabs, like these compression tabs from Anson. If you become a member at RealWorldPDR.com within the next 30 days, you'll get these compression tabs for free, a $15 value. It's also cool because they're among my favorites anyway. Secondly, it should go without saying that you're probably going to need some glue. Here we have pink snapper glue from Dent Tools. Well, hey, what do you know? If you become a member at RealWorldPDR.com, some of this pink snapper glue will also be heading your way, and that's from Dent Tools, available from Anson. It pulls hard as hell, has a funny name, and you can get it for free. What's not to like? Now, to make that glue useful at all to you, you're going to need a glue gun. Here, I've got the Collision cordless glue gun from Anson, but let me tell you, any plug-in cordless glue gun will do just fine to start out with. Whoa, stop. What did I just say? Let's listen one more time. Any plug-in cordless glue gun will do just fine to start out with. Plug-in cordless glue gun, huh, Jim? How about any plug-in glue gun will do just fine to start out with? Moving on. After that, you're gonna wanna get a mini lifter. Now, there's other things that you could glue pull with, but I prefer my students start with a mini lifter just because it gives them more control. Here, I've got two different options for mini lifters. I have got the Kiko mini lifter, and this is basically the industry standard. This is what most of us reach for, but I've also got the Lift Right mini lifter. This one's a little more ergonomic for top panels. If that's what you foresee yourself doing, go ahead and grab that. It is a great mini lifter. You're also gonna need some alcohol and probably something to apply the alcohol with. I've got some 91% alcohol in my Misto sprayer bottle here. Misto. Don't get hung up on that Misto spray bottle. It's just a spray thing that's available from Amazon. Anything that will apply alcohol to the panel will do just fine. The last thing you're gonna be looking for is a knockdown like this one, available from Anson, and some knockdown tips like this Dent Tools match grade tip set. We're gonna talk about these tips later, but they're also a tool that you'll get for signing up at RealWorldPDR.com. So between the glue, the tab, and the tips, that's like $126 worth of free PDR tools for signing up at RealWorldPDR.com. And really, that's all you need to get started. So let's go ahead and make ourselves a dent. All right, now let's make a dent. I'm just kidding, don't do that. All right, new guys, here's the thing. A lot of you start out with trying to fix dents that are far too big. Do not do what I just did when you start learning to glue pull and expect positive things to happen. Instead, do something like this. So there we go. What I've done is I put a small and pretty shallow dent into this. Now, this is the kind of dent that I want to start practice on. If I start too big, I'm gonna get frustrated and I'm not gonna be able to repair it, and I'll probably give up even trying. So the first thing I want to show you is a couple of things that you don't want to do. So I've got my glue heated up here. We're using that pink snapper glue from Dent Tools. I have got my compression tab from Anson, and I'm going to show you a couple common mistakes people make when using their mini lifter. So put that on there. I made a small dent right beside the one that we will be repairing. So I'm going to go ahead and place the tab. Now, whenever I put my glue on the tab, I want just enough that whenever I put it down, it barely goes outside the ring of the actual tab. Okay, so two common mistakes that I see people learning how to glue pull make is, first of all, they don't watch the metal move as they pull. Second, they want to snap this tab off as hard as they can. I guess you're thinking that the more metal movement you get, the better. That's just not the case. You're going to create more work for yourself. So I'm going to show you what not to do here. Not looking, not paying attention, then bam! Just as hard as humanly possible. Now let's take a look at what problems that just caused. Okay, so now let's use our alcohol to remove that glue from that panel. That pink snapper glue really held tight. Now take a look at that. That is a big ass mound right in the middle of our panel. That's gonna be hard to knock down. So we are gonna avoid that, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. So we've got that. Now we're gonna work on this dent right here. So now I'm gonna repeat that, and I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm gonna use that pink snapper glue and that compression tab. I'm gonna place that tab right there in that dent. Now, if this light is confusing you, don't worry about it. At realworldpdr.com, in the very first lesson, we will teach you how to use this light appropriately. Okay, so now I'm going to watch the metal move underneath this tab the entire time I'm pulling. And I'm not going to get hung up on trying to snap this thing off. So apply a little bit of pressure. Now you can see this was not a deep dent. I don't need to put a whole lot of oomph into that. So a little bit of pressure, there you go. Now, if I come off of it, let's go ahead and use our alcohol and see what that did. It's always better to pull twice than to screw it up on your first pull. Now, frankly, that first overpull that I made wasn't that bad, and this second one, this pink snapper glue held so dang tight that I ended up pulling this one a little high as well. It's not as bad as the first one, but hopefully you'll be able to see the difference. Really, the point is, pay attention to what you're doing and don't just pull blindly. Now, hopefully you can see there's a dramatic difference. Yes, we pulled it just a hair high, which is, in general, what you want, but over here, we have got a massive, massive hump. That's not good. So a little bit of a hump, what you're looking for. A big hump that's hard to knock down, not so much. Okay, all right, so now we gotta get into gently knocking down that hump that we just created. All right, so what I have here is the Dead Dent Tools Match Grade Tip Set. Now this thing is pretty awesome because I've got 4 different options to use. I've got everything from a very broad knockdown tip all the way down to a very, very fine knockdown tip. Now, you won't be using all of those when you first start out with, but it's good to play around with them and experiment. Today, I'm probably gonna use the largest and the second largest because I don't need anything too fine to knock this down with. So, I am going to attempt to work around my camera here and knock down this high spot right there using this Dead Dent Tools tip, my purple heart paddle from Anson, and the Anson knockdown. So very gently. Bada bing, bada boom. Just like that. Now, don't worry about tapping in fast succession like I just did. You can slow it down a lot. So in fact, let me go ahead and knock down this high that I pulled here. Now remember, this is your what not to do, but it's still repairable. So I'm gonna knock this down and show you how you could do it to start out with. So again, my what not to do pull here didn't turn out as glorious as I had anticipated. So if you are practicing your glue pulling and you end up with something like that, don't freak out. It's not that you've done something wrong. It just requires a little bit more knockdown than the first one did. It's still very repairable, and actually using this Dead Dent Tools knockdown tip, it was pretty much a breeze to knock down. So maybe I'll make another video sometime soon of what a real gnarly overpull looks like. Man. I really, really like that Dead Dent Tools tip. That thing is handy. So as you see, we knocked down the what not to do and the what to do using that knockdown with that Dead Dent Tools tip and the purple heart wood whatever that is, paddle from Anson, and we got the job done. So that is how you start practicing your glue pulling. Now that is how you start learning how to glue pull. Now, there's much more in-depth lessons on beginning glue pulling at realworldpdr.com, but you have to start here if you want to get to here. This is a dent that's on realworldpdr.com, a full tutorial, 100% glue pull. We've even got more advanced glue pulling tutorials at realworldpdr.com, so no matter what your skill set, we've got something for you. Also, don't forget, When you sign up for Real World and become a member within 30 days of this video posting, you're gonna get these 3 tools. Now that is the Dead Dent Tools tip set, the pink snapper glue, and the tequila compression tabs. That's $126 freaking dollars of free tools coming your way just for becoming a member of realworldpdr.com PDR Monthly. We can't wait to have you. So join us today at Real World PDR. Respect the crowns.